Coming to you live from the 603. What's up, guys? Mike Anderson here. 603 tuning in. This is Bad Apple Facts. Today we're talking about what's life like coming home from prison. Now, that's not an easy question because reintegration into society is different for everybody. One thing's for sure, it's easier for some people, maybe smoother, but it's never just easy. Because if you've been to a place like that, even if it's a short stint, you leave a part of yourself there. And you also bring a part of that evil place back home with you. And it takes a long time for some people to work out those demons and be able to just be normal. That shit's hard. For me, it was definitely hard. When I came home from prison, I just treated it like a celebration, straight up, which is okay to an extent. Like, when you're able to come home, of course, celebration, yeah, but I did it the wrong way. I was drinking every single day, just completely out in left field, didn't really care for much. It was just me and my old man celebrating, you know what I mean? I bought a race car that I only raced once when I came home. The rest of the time, it was a friggin' yard ornament. It was a badass yard ornament, but it just sat in the front yard and we drank around it daily. For one, that's not healthy at all physically wise, and for two, mentally, it's not healthy because I wasn't going into society and dealing with regular civilians. I was just still chilling with the same convict mindset, and that caused me, like, if I went downtown bar hopping or going to the clubs with my people, I was always getting into some sort of shit, man. Just couldn't keep my hands to myself. You know, Citizens and civilians are allowed to use words like bitch or shut up or, even something as simple as walking past you and brushing shoulders and not saying, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. In the prison, just not like that. It's, choice words that's on site. Disrespect, like brushing by somebody and not acknowledging it and apologizing, all things like that could lead to trouble. So when you have that mindset on the streets now, and you're at the clubs, and these kids, these 20-year-old kids, they don't know, they don't care, they have their whole life ahead of them, and next thing you know, you got them in the back alley and you're tuning them up for nothing because you still have that prison mindset. And that's what I was doing. Now, that's not what everybody does, and that's what I was doing, and guess what? It got me sent back to prison. Not only did he get me sent back to prison, they got my ass kicked. I got my ass kicked having that mindset before I went back to prison. So the double tune up. Now, when I wrapped up my parole violation, I maxed out everything from my Massachusetts probation to my New Hampshire parole in 2022. You know, I was a free, no papers, no parole. I was Gucci. Still am to this day, so that's good. But even then, I wasn't coping the right way. I was still drinking too much, although I had cut back a lot, and I had started working. And but I still didn't have much to live for. I wasn't thinking about my health. I wasn't thinking about my mental health for sure. I was just going through the motions. And where I found myself by doing that is, next thing you know, I was in a rut to where I just had this daily routine that added up to a whole bunch of nothing. And I didn't even care if I got out of that routine. Didn't bother me at all. At the time, I have a son, and I was away for most of his life, and I wasn't really allowed access to him when I came home because when you're dealing with situations like that, they always tend to think that you're going to cause trouble. And I wasn't necessarily doing the right thing, although I wasn't back on drugs, and I haven't been back on drugs since my original indictment. So it's 8 years, but I was still drinking too much, and I wasn't a good, responsible person. That's completely understandable. So, the issue with that is I was all right with that when truly I should have looked myself in the mirror and said, all right, it's time to buckle down right now. ETE, we got to get it going on. So, excuse me. We fast forward some years. Now it's 2025, 2026, and I'm with my fiance now. Praise God for her because she stepped in my life and made me look in the mirror and realize that there was so much more I could be doing. So shout out Leah. I love you, beautiful. Anyways, now I'm in a situation and I'm a blessed man because we're doing really good. I'm doing phenomenal. She's doing better than anybody I've ever seen. And I'm in a situation now where I see my son all the time. And I want to talk about that because even though I'm doing good and all this good stuff, when you have the Department of Health and Human Services involved, with the safety of my son, they look at me and they look at my past, and the stigma that comes from that is hard to overcome because you have to prove to them double than what you would have to prove to somebody else, if not triple. I mean, you really have to buckle down and jump through hoops to prove to them that you're a good man deserving to be a father to my son. And that puts a lot of stress on people. So I can see why people going through that would maybe perhaps break and snap under that pressure. But me, I just use it as motivation. So life after prison and fatherhood after prison, this is no easy road. And this is no joke either. It's something that you need to take very seriously. It's something I am taking very seriously. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of the man I am today. But prison did nothing for me to help me reintegrate either. It was straight from Berlin, released, so straight from B block, fighting every day to boom, now you're on the streets back at home. Now you just have more access to alcohol. I wouldn't say more, but you know what I'm saying, guys. And it was hard for me. And I know it's hard for a lot of you guys out there too. And I'm so proud of the ones that are really just dogging it out. And we don't let this shit stop us, do we? Like that's that mindset you have to have. And we take everything, even the little wins. You got to add those little wins up. Every day, a win is a win. My good friend told me that the other day. Shout out W number and Matt Tottenham. He said, no matter what, keep grinding. And a win is a win, no matter how small it is. So when you think about your day to day life, me, I took that and ran with it. When I wake up in the morning, I go to my own bathroom and I got my own shower and it's got nice hot water. Boom, that's 3 wins already. I got nice Charmin Ultra Soft toilet paper to wipe my ass. That's a double win. I'm looking at 5 wins right there. I got good homemade coffee to drink. Dude, you know what I mean? By 7 o'clock, I got more wins than I can count on my hands and feet. And if that's the mindset you have, dude, that's going to elevate your energy, period. And that's something I love it because it's so true. That and the strength of prayer, I take that seriously. I pray to my higher power. I pray to Jesus Christ. He's always got my back, and it's just that mindset you have to keep locked in. And when you're coming home from prison, it's very hard sometimes. And I just want to encourage anybody that if they need help to reach out. You can reach out to me personally on any of the platforms, even if you just want to shoot the shit or ask how, maybe how would I deal with a situation? How did I deal with these situations? Or I don't know. I just feel like if you guys need to talk, let me know. And that was my little coming home story and how I dealt with it. It wasn't good, but here I am today, a blessed man. Mike Anderson here, Bad Apple Facts, 603. I'm tuning out. Bye, guys.